Hey guys, it's Dami here from Clientele Boosters, and today I want to tell you 3 reasons why you'll probably need a remote sales team, okay? Especially in this generation. So reason number one is because it lowers risk, right? I have appointment setters that work on commission. I have appointment setters that have salaries. When you are working with someone remotely, especially if you follow the steps throughout this course, then you'll be able to bring someone on to help you generate leads for your service-based business, or if you're selling a digital product like this, or if you're selling an info product or different kinds of offers online, or even if it's a product in and of itself, they are going to be able to be happy to work off commission if you do it the right way. So you're lowering risk instead of paying someone, even in Australia, a very, very low salary plus commission or fully commission, where they are less incentivized to work as hard, right? When someone's working for you overseas, they are excited to work with an international company. Think about it. If you got an email from someone in the US or in Europe saying, hey, I have an opportunity for you. You're going to be able to sell X amount of luxury real estate in this part of the world. Is this something you'd be open to? It's commission only, but the average property sells for $100,000 or $1 million. You're probably going to at least respond to the email, right? It's going to catch your attention more than if some local Australian real estate company says, hey mate, you want to be part of our real estate company? You already have a feel for it. The fact that it's overseas already creates that sense of excitement for them. And again, that's your advantage. It lowers risk. So that's number one. Number two, which leads to it, is they're actually going to probably be more loyal to you. Now, I say this with obviously a pinch of salt, but here's why I say this. Again, many, in my opinion, or in my experience rather, people within the Asia Pacific regions, Australia, New Zealand, all parts of Australia, even if you go over to the US, oftentimes because they are aware of the currency that, or they're able to compare your market rates to other market rates, the likelihood is, not all the time, but many times, they might only give you 60 to 50% of their effort. And that's me being very, very fair, okay? Oftentimes, we all know the story. When people are working COVID, they're really working for 30% of the day. They go for 2 bathroom breaks, 2 coffee breaks, 1 walk, and, one little emotional break or whatever. And I'm giving an example, right? And you're hiring someone, especially from the Philippines, or even South Africa and other parts of the world, these guys, again, are super incentivized to work with you. For one of the core reasons being because of the currency exchange. Now, are there sometimes lazy people in the Philippines and South Africa? Yes. Have I hired lazy people before? Absolutely. All right? I'm not saying that you're not going to make that mistake, but I'm showing you that the reasoning why they are going to be more incentivized is because, $5,000 in Australia is worth multiple 6 figures worth of pesos, maybe even 7 figures worth of pesos in the Philippines, right? So again, at the end of the day, currency exchange is a thing. And oftentimes because of that, they will be getting compensated so fairly in their own currency that they will want to work harder for you. They will want to keep their job, right? And that will create that sense of loyalty. And loyalty is going to branch off into the third thing, which is scale and leverage. Right now, for my own agency, I have 3 other salespeople plus myself. Right? In the past, I have brought on people within Australia, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's 2024 March. We're probably going to bring on some Australian salespeople as well, probably within somewhere around the tail end of Q2 or Q3. Now, the great thing, though, about having an offshore sales team is leverage. So, for example, for Quasar Central, my production company, we have 2 main recruiters. They've been recruiting for Quasar for over a year and a half nearly. They understand how to recruit, how to negotiate, how to handle objections, because they are so trained and versed in how we resolve problems for that company. So what happens? I give them now opportunities in one of my events / nightclubs, Culture Club, right? Oh, we're low on ticket sales, no worries. I'm going to chuck in my guys from Quasar. They're going to go out there and message 100 people. They're going to handle these objections, etc. It creates leverage. So you're able to create hierarchies a lot faster than, again, this is relative, but in my experience, at least a bit faster than training up one salesperson in the office where you're paying for the rent, you're paying for their coffee, you're building a relationship with them, which is what you're still going to have to do with your virtual assistants. You're still going to have to create the relationship with them. But the time is expedited because, again, a lot of them are hungrier. They're going to want to pick it up faster, and they're going to want to elevate to leadership positions. So that's another thing that we'll talk about, how to build a leadership structure for them so they can feel like they're ascending, right? And they're encouraged and incentivized to move throughout that career progression, right? So career progression is super important. And in fact, that's part of interviewing the virtual assistants that I've talked about earlier, or I'm going to talk about depending on which video you're watching, but that's where I talk about how to ask the right questions. And part of the right questions is finding out how they're incentivized, right? But yes, you're able to build leverage. So in my own agency, we have an appointment set. It's been appointment setting for my agency for now over 12 months. We have different salespeople, two beautiful ladies and one incredible man, right? They're all super versed. They've all been working with me for a while. Now, in Q2, one of the things we're going to be doing is we're going to be building people underneath them. So by the end of Q2, whether it's blended with an Australian team or a Filipino team or a South African team overseas internationally, we're going to have at least probably like, it's exciting even talking about it, 7 to 15 salespeople, right? So think about it. By the end of the year, when we also have Australian people, some of these guys from the Philippines are just going to be primarily appointment setters or primarily like the first screen of the call. So they'll do like a pre-demo or a pre-sale with them. If you're in tech sales, you already know what I'm talking about. They'll do pre-sales and they'll be an account executive and they'll maybe be like a closer, right? So again, there's a lot of flexibility here, but there's 3 quick reasons why it's really important that you have an online offshore sales team. Those are 3 quick reasons. I can give so many more, but I'm already reaching that 6-minute mark, so my editor's going to be mad at me. Now to recap, reason number 1, like I said, there's the currency exchange. Things are cheaper, lower risk. Reason number 2, loyalty. Because of the currency exchange, they're going to want to work harder for you, right? It's just human nature. And reason number 3 is leverage. You're able to build leverage faster, more methodically, and in a way that is created for everyone to be incentivized to the benefit and growth of your business and, of course, your mega community. I'll see you guys in the next lesson. The action steps is just to really let that digest, and you can now think about 3 reasons or one of those reasons to why you think you're going to be benefiting a lot from an offshore sales team. And you can think about harnessing on focusing on one of those reasons to really double down on it and make sure that it's one of the bedrocks when you're building your team. I'll speak to you guys soon and I'll see you in the next lesson. Ciao.